Hello everybody! In today's show I'm going to present how to make a recipe holder. This is the recipe holder that I made for myself. And it's quite easy to make. What you need is bookbinding rings. Here I have 3. Then we are going to make 2 covers. One front cover and one back cover. And then inside what I used is paper sheets, plastic paper sheets, and I just print out or write down my recipe and then have it there protected. And we all know how important it is to have our recipe protected, because what I do is I start cooking, I have everything on my table, I have my recipe, and then boom, something spills and it's on my recipe. So this way you get your sheets protected, and also you can organize them. You can do more of these recipe holders, and then you can have them by category, by appetizers, soups, cakes, etc. But the most important thing, I'm going to show you how to make the book cover, because this is basically the essential part of the recipe holder. So what I need, first of all, is pattern paper. That's going to be the outside of the recipe holder, and I decided on this pattern because it's so lovely and it fits perfectly with the recipe holder. And for the inside, I've taken basil chipboard and cut it to size. And how do I determine the size? Quite easy. You just take one of the insides, or whatever plastic sheet or whatever size you want in the inside. You just take the size. Let me empty it for you. Just take the sheet, put it on your plastic cover, and then, measure the entire size, because this is going to be in the inside. So just measure it a little bit, half a centimeter on each side. That's how you determine what size you need the chipboard. Okay, so I've already measured it and gone ahead and cut it to my size. My size is 18 by 23 centimeters. And then what I did, I took my 12 by 12 pattern paper, and what I did, I measured. As you can see, I've measured a score here for my corners where I placed the chipboard initially, and I've measured 2.5 centimeters at the top, and then 3 centimeters on the side. So now what we are going to do first is use bookbinding glue and adhere this together. So first, adhere this part, the bottom, and then we're going to flip it, and I'll show you how to make a good flip. And just one tip for you, you know how you have those foam brushes that you use and then afterwards you always have to clean up? What I do, I just buy the cheapest sponges, the kitchen sponges that I have, cut them to the size that I need, and then once I'm done, I don't clean them up, I just throw them away. So we're going to put quite a decent amount of glue on this. Okay, now that I have glue all over my piece, my chipboard, I'm going to place it where the margins are. And here is why the margins that I made are so useful, because then I don't have to bother measuring again. Just connect the measurement. Almost perfect. And then press it down. Now that we have the chipboard adhered to the paper, what I'm going to do is cut the ears. That's how I call them. And what you do is take the thicker part of your ruler, and you make a node, and you make a mark. And why do you need this space here? That it's, here you need up. You'll see in a minute. So I'm taking the scissors and cutting down the little ears that I've marked. So what I do now is I take my bone folder, and you make scores where your margin is, just close to where your margin is. so then we fold the paper easier. Okay, so now we put glue again on those little scores. Try to use the extra glue that you have on your sponge. And also try to put very close to the margin as you can. The important bit. You take the margin and you tuck it in. And you make sure that you tuck it in as best as you can using your fold. And now what it's important to notice is that you have here a little bit of extra paper, and then you have the end of the chipboard. Well, to have a nice fold, you tuck this bit in. So I tuck this bit in. Okay, you see here tucked in, and then you fold it, and the same for the other part. That's how you're going to get a nice clean fold, a professional looking fold. Yeah, so let me just show you, let's do this other crease also, and then I'm going to show you how it's going to look like. Now you see here this fold, I'm not sure if it's very visible. It looks nice, clean cut, nice professional fold. Now what we have to do is cover up this piece. My pattern paper is double-sided, so I'm just going to cut a piece and use the other side to cover this hole. Now I'm going to place my piece of paper on the empty chipboard. Here is the finished cover. The inside, the outside. Experience taught me that it's a good idea to put your cover under a stack of books and let it dry to make sure that it doesn't curl up. I'm going to put this aside and I'm going to show you how I finished off my recipe holder. I just made a tag with my recipes. I stamped another yummy, and instead of the word I just stamped a cake, and I stamped it on, I stamped it twice. One is on the bottom if you can see, and then I used foam tape and I added another one to give it a little bit of dimensions. And on the inside I have the same cover, but I just stamped apples to make it, yeah, embellish it a little bit. And on the back I just wrote Bon Appetit and put a flower in it. And of course not to forget ribbons on my bookbinding rings. So this is my recipe holder. I hope you will enjoy it, and see you next time. Bye bye.